Welcome back to the channel. India is on the right track for scaling open source adoption. Some reputed tech giant in India several decades back and continues to dominate in the enterprise tech space globally as well as in India. Some tech innovations is working on as well as how it is helped the developer community and adapting to the recent changes in the open source landscape. Some technology cloud engineering team experts comprises some hands-on cloud technologies scenario. We closely collaborated with customer as technical consultant and trusted advisor to help them make the right technology choices choices as a part of the organization's journey to the cloud. As a key area of responsibility is to help the power of a second generation modern cloud infrastructure and advise customers to the best practices for a successful cloud experience. In current scenario, a few technical experts have always had a robust developer engagement program in India. They run programs actively throughout the years and witness commendable participation from the local developers. We will continue to organize those regular virtual meetup, knowledge exchange workshops, and developer deep dive sessions. These help to gain feedback from the developer community and have often helped in fine tuning the recent offerings. One of the recent developer centric innovation is something like a JSON database. For example, built on the autonomous database foundation, it helps app developer focused on what do they best, create breakthrough, not get bogged down with routine database administration tasks. With this, developers can provision new database in just few minutes and scale up and down, all with a zero downtime. To focus more on the next big app they are building, database patches are also applied online automatically. It also comes with superior security capabilities. The key thing is to that autonomous JSON database deliver 2 times more throughput while costing 30% less competitive database configuration in the same category. The fairly active and committed on the open source front, it's contribute both as a leader, as a key contributor to a vast number of open source community. With the democratization of technologies such as cloud and artificial intelligence with machine learning now fairly mature, open source has become much more viable and mainstream today, and India is on the right track for scaling open source adoption. Some company is on strong focus on innovation by a consistent, sizable R&D investment and efforts. Our flagship innovation in recent times is based on autonomous database. It is generational innovation. It is a world first and only self-driving, self-securing, and self-repairing database. We will continue to innovate with customer centricity in mind, and we will work closely with our customers and partners while keeping an eye on the market trends. It is equally important to merge the company's short-term priorities with long-term growth objective. And in today, technology makes it possible, both for an organization and as well as for an individual at personal level. Customer centricity is the key. Our world revolves around the customers, and every employee is responsible for helping our customers solve their complex business problems to better serve their end customers. Ultimately, it's imperative to develop into a trusted advisor for each and every customer. While open source software is free and has several advantages, it does have compliance and license requirement as well as intellectual property rights. It's important that companies are aware of this. Compliance for open source software is often overlooked by the companies. They do not ensure compliances before shipping their product or services or releasing updates. Ignoring baseline compliance requirement and procedures can lead to serious consequences for companies, especially during future revisions of the product or the services that use code from the initial baseline. The non-compliance not only exposes companies to the risk of litigation, they also stand to lose hefty amount as damages. Loss of reputation and rewriting of software are some of the other unavoidable repercussions. Further, companies may have to withhold the marketing, sale or distribution of product and services until the compliance requirements are met, and the consequences of which can be more damaging than the monetary payouts. Once the product or service is shipped, it's become challenging to identify any non-compliance unless the company has a software bill of material. But even then, there is no denying that extensive time and cost will be incurred in becoming compliant. Therefore, every company should focus on putting in place of a process to ensure compliances before its product and services are shipped to stakeholders. Non-compliance has led to several disputes in the past. Settlement terms have often included taking necessary steps to become compliant or taking corrective measures. This can be costly in terms of the engineering effort and product launch timelines. The software supply chains include various stakeholders, open source software communities, software suppliers, original equipment manufacturers, vendor providing, and SDKs, software development kit, and the final product entity. If any of the member of the supply chain fails to comply with the license obligation or fail to provide the appropriate license information, it will significantly impact the vendor who is obligated to comply with the licenses. The compliance process based on company should implement an end-to-end process for ensuring open source compliances, and framing an open source policy, the first step for establishing the open source governance process. The policy should be internally communicated and should be flexible. And the final thing is mitigate those risks through processes and best practices. Train those employees from legal, intellectual property, engineering, as well as product, sales, marketing, procurement, and quality assurance team on open source compliances. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.